Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining me for part two with the magical Claudia Zamora. So, when you talk about transformation, I remember as a child being told, oh, once you're an adult, that's it. You've reached the pinnacle of life. But now that I'm almost 50, I have found that one of the things I've enjoyed as an adult over the last 30 years is personal transformation and that journey. So what do you have to say about transformation and all knowledge that you have?
Well, this like biological clock that we see with the planets is in the first instance, like when we are around 30, that's when we really become an adult. That's when you really think, oh, wow, I need to get a family, have kids, I need to buy a house. That's when you start thinking that time is running. Okay. A lot of women have a crisis during the Saturn transit because if they don't have kids, they go, oh my God, I have to have kids. Oh, okay. So that's the first transit where we have this major awareness of who we are. Okay. And then between 48, 49, 50, that's when the second transit comes in. And again, you are like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I have no more time. I have to, retire, or, when am I going to retire and enjoy life? And so there's two major crises that we need support. So I do that. So I support people into that transformation, as a life coach and as a counselor. I help people through those crises because you want answers. You need answers. You need to know why. Why is this happening to me? What's going to happen to me? And so I learned, many techniques to help out through the transformation process. And everything is great. It's just a matter of awareness. And, once you have the awareness that everything will be okay, then you relax. But until somebody tells you, no, everything will be fine, you're like, freaking out and panicking. So, I love to do that. And I feel very blessed to be able to, to help people in that sense, because I know when people call me, it's because they're going through these major shifts of consciousness and they need help and they need answers and they need somebody to confirm what's going on.
Right.
Some people call me, oh, I have dreams. Oh, Claudia, I have dreams. I can't, my dreams are vivid. What do they mean? And it's part of that shift. Usually it's part of the shift. When you are having those situations, it's because something is about to change. So when you come to me, you know that your life is about to change. And I love it. And I love it because usually change and transformation is for the better. Yeah. No matter how bad it gets at some point, because even a divorce or even a breakup or, life situations. But I know that, we change through chaos. Sometimes we have to use chaos as a mean to be able to see life differently, So, right. But yes, I'm always open to help people into those kind of, shady processes. And not only that, I mean, I can see people that have no drama llamas. I call them no drama llamas because, they just like energy and they like to sit down on my healing bed and have the crystals on top and just enjoy life. I have many of those, and that's fine too. But many are really in need. They're really in need of answers and they're really in need of support. And so I love what I do. I want to do so many things. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do so many things. But basically, they all have to do with that transformation process, I guess.
I love that. That is I'm already thinking when I need to make an appointment. Okay. have to go. It's 1:30. Are you okay right now?
Yes, we can
Okay.
go a little bit more if you want. Yes.
I have a question. You said something about the Saturn transit when you were explaining transformation and times in our lives. Can you explain what that means?
Well, the planet of Saturn represents time. Okay, so because we live bonded to a timeline, okay, unfortunately, hopefully in the era of Aquarius, we will shift and make that longer, like before, because before at some point, people used to live longer. We have accounts in the Bible that talks about people like Noah and Methuselah, that they were like more than 500 years old. Okay?
Right.
But because we are bonded in this timeline, we only live, with being lucky until 100 or more or less around there. So Saturn, because it's a planet of time, is kind of like a ringing bell. It's like, okay, how are you going to spend your time on Earth, wisely? And so it's like a ticking clock that is telling us to be aware of time. And so that's what I'm saying. The first transit, you are young and full of energy and, you don't even remember time. But
Right.
at that time, all of a sudden, you start being conscious about time.
Sure.
And you say, oh my goodness, I need to have a family. Oh, I want to have a partner, or I want to get married, or, that's when you really need to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now the second transit is a little bit deeper, because now the second transit is closer to the other side, the other half of life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we are on the first half at the beginning, and then we are on the second half. So the second half of our lives, the awareness is, okay, how am I going to live this next half? What am I going to do? Am I happy with the job I have? Am I happy with the husband I have? Am I happy with the relationships that I created for my life? Location. Am I going to live in Fayetteville all my life? Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? So that is a major critical moment, because you need someone to hold your hand and tell you, okay, come along, this is the way.
Right.
And so it is very critical. Both are critical, but the second one is the most critical. That's why they say the middle age crisis. Okay.
Yeah.
So the middle age crisis doesn't come alone. It comes with Saturn. And Saturn is actually, just opening this question mark of, who are you? Who are you? What are you doing with your life? What are you going to do with your life? And so, yes, you need a lot of support in all fields, but I would say that spiritually speaking, you need the most tools in your spirit, like in your consciousness. Because when you do have these spiritual tools, like, for example, Reiki, meditation, crystals, life coaching, yoga, all these techniques, you are stronger because, you have those tools. But if you don't have any, you only have questions. And so you need somebody to answer them for you or confirm it for you. And so it is a major process. I always tell my people, call me because it's going to be hard. And I know it's going to be hard because I have seen it all along, I have seen it. And it's a moment where you really need some support, some extra support. I don't like people to clinch on me. So my advice is very short. Like I give 1, 2, 3 sessions. That's it. Then you need to be on your own.
Sure.
But through these 3 sessions, you get a lot of the feel of, what to do and how to navigate that process. And so I like to help that way. Just being present and saying, It's all going to be okay. You know, you're going to go through it. And some people get like, wow, I can't see the light. You know, when is this going to end? But it's a very important process in our life. So, you know, we have to be prepared. We just have to have the right tools. One of the things with Reiki, for example, is that when you are initiated into the Reiki energy, you also have this connection with the ascended masters. So the ascended masters are beings that have passed into another consciousness, and they're like little guides. And a lot of the students have that connection with spiritual guides. And so not only that you're going to have a physical guide, but also in your days where you are praying, when you are alone, those are also spirits that can help you to find a way. Prayer is definitely one of the most powerful healing techniques for everybody, but the life that we live so fast, sometimes we don't have the time to do a lot of prayer. Now, the awareness of prayer is so important because, one prayer a day can change completely your life. Being in gratitude, just the fact of saying thank you for everything that surrounds me. And when you are initiated into Reiki, that's one of the things that you have to do as a Reiki practitioner. You have to live in gratitude, and you have to honor your ancestors, and you have to honor everything around you. And so as a Reiki practitioner, you become better. You become better as a human being. You clean your path, and you are more in attunement with your own choices. I mean, that doesn't mean that you don't have to make choices. You still do, but you're going to make better choices. Why? Because you're going to have that clarity. You're going to have that connection with spirit. And so I love to initiate people, because I know that even though if I don't see them again in my life, which is very odd because I always keep myself close to my students. But if I don't, let's say you get an initiation and you move to Colorado or whatever, I know for the fact that you will be protected and that you will have the connection with spirit guides that will be with you at those moments of choice when you have to make a decision, a difficult decision. And decisions are all difficult. Even changing jobs. I have soldiers coming in and saying, do I leave? Do I retire? Do I stay? I mean, there are difficult things that you have to have a very strong connection to spirit to really make the best choice. Do I get surgery? Do I do that? I mean, there's so many questions out there that you need a connection with what? With your own knowledge, with your own master, okay? The only thing I do is create the scenario for you to be able to see that. So that's my ability, just connecting you with yourself. It's like, okay, putting two and two together. And so that is my ability, and I love doing that. And I think people are more prepared, for anything that can happen. Through COVID, unfortunately, a lot of people have passed. A lot of souls have passed. And many of my clients had family members, gone. And it's a reality. And, having those tools to connect with spirit, be in prayer in those ugly moments is such a support. I mean, it's there's no money that can pay that support. That is definitely one of the greatest things. But this place is very strong spiritually. So yes, a lot of people that are here at this moment in time are holding a big portal of light. And so a lot of the people that are here, like me and like others, like you, like others, we have a very strong connection to spirit. So I would say that we're all witches here. Most of us are very connected to spirit. And I think that that's because we are doing a major healing through time, and the basically lifting all these spirits that were held into this plane that need to leave. There are a lot of these spirits that need to clear, but they can't clear unless there's a big energy field holding them back. And so a lot of people are coming to live in Fayetteville because Fayetteville is going to be that, creating that shift of consciousness. So a lot of people that are here are basically very connected to spirit, very, very witchy.
If someone is curious about that, maybe there are some people who it's a little fearful and hesitant. Are you someone they could say, hey, I have some questions. These are the things that I've learned, but I'm curious. And are you someone they can reach out to and ask those questions to?
Yes, I have a lot of knowledge. I actually was very lucky to have spiritual teachers that taught me a lot of the healing processes, through different ways. But yes, I know how to deal with energy. I know how to interact with spirits, and I help people. Sometimes it can be a new house where you see that the energy is not the best, and all you have to do is neutralize the place. You have to neutralize the place to 0.0, so that way you can put your energy into the place, But yes, I can help people with that. I work with white magic. I don't do anything that is harmful to anybody. I don't interact with that, but I do try to help people that don't have the knowledge to understand how spiritual world exists, and and it's all around, because we share common spaces. So it's not like it's not something other than us, that we share the same spaces. Even if we go out in the wild, if you go to a forest, you will more likely feel the fairies. And I don't know if it happened to you, but here in North Carolina, there's full of fairies. There's many spirits of the wild. And you just have to kind of, allow yourself to go in so that they can come out to you. And it's a wonderful energy. I mean, all good. But there are many things happening in this place that we just have to kind of open our, third eye to see it, and also silence a little bit ourselves, because we are too noisy. But spirit requires us to be in silence. And when we are in that silence, we can start perceiving, Mother Nature very differently. There are wonderful places. Yeah, there's a place called Ravens Rock, very close to Fayetteville. It's beautiful out there. They have a beautiful forest. They have a lot of crystal quartz. So all the land is filled with quartz, and it has a beautiful, beautiful energy that, you can just take a hike and go and take your dogs. Actually, I take my dogs. And once you start silencing yourself and connecting with that environment, you will see all the spirits of Mother Nature. And it's just beautiful. It's out there, very close to us.
I have seen posts about that on social media, and people taking their dogs up or just going for a hike, which is nice, because Fayetteville is a city, and like you were saying, the silencing and just being with nature, it's so important. I really feel like it's very important. I love to be outside. It's a little bit chilly right now.
And we need to connect more with Mother Nature, because as we are transforming, Mother Nature is transforming too, and she's going through her own transformation. So being in contact with Mother Nature allows us to be one, perceive her as part of us. And so I think that awareness brings a lot of peace. When you are connected with the elements, you have peace of mind, and also you have a lot of healing through her. Even color, just by watching the trees, your whole eye gets filled with that green, and green is one of the frequencies to heal our heart, our emotions. And so even just by being out there and just being observing Mother Nature, it's a healing way of, helping yourself to just feel different, feel more focused, feel more just yourself, complete. And so we have a lot of codes in Mother Nature, and we actually in a beautiful place. We only like about an hour away from the beach. We have beautiful beaches here in North Carolina. We have the mountain, the Appalachians, which are amazing, and the energy there is amazing. We have Pilot Mountain, which is only like 2.5 hours away from us, and it's a very special sacred place where we have two ley lines from the energy field of the earth that meet in Pilot Mountain. So there's a lot of, yes, it's very strong. And we actually hold a portal there every year. November 11th, we get together, we do a gathering, and we do a special prayer for all of us, for the nation, for a city, for everybody, for peace. And the energy out there is just amazing. I mean, it's beautiful and very powerful, very powerful. Actually, the portal that opens up through Pilot Mountain goes directly into the Chichen Itza vortex. So Chichen Itza in Mexico is actually part of the same line of grid. And so it's very, very strong. It's like going to a pyramid, but we have it here in Pilot Mountain, right locally. So it's just wonderful. I like to, connect with spirits, and I like to connect with Mother Nature. And I'm always inviting people. Like I invite everybody to, come with me and let's do a meditation, or let's just do a prayer for peace. It doesn't take long, just a few moments. But it's so important to be able to anchor those energies and those frequencies. So I invite everybody to come over, and enjoy what we have. We have a lot of things here in this state, and we are blessed because we have so many things that we, that we can use. Even caves. There's a crystal cave here in North Carolina. There's so many things. I mean, we are definitely lucky.
Oh yeah, I mean, North Carolina is a beautiful place, and like you said, you have the mountains, you have the beach, you have, it's green. It is green. It's
it's very green, and that means that all the green around us is holding that frequency, that green frequency, and green represents healing. So also when you come to North Carolina, you will be healed. So not doing anything, not visiting Claudia, it doesn't matter. You still are going to get a lot of the healing because of what surrounds us. So we are definitely in that line where, a lot of the change, a lot of the transformation takes place because it's for the better. When you're going through your transformation, it's actually for something that is awaiting for you, for to enjoy life more, to be happier, to be better, or just to be the better version of yourself.
I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience, the stories. I'm sure I could do this every week and ask you different stories. We could talk for the rest of our lives.
I know so many stories. I know I have a lot of stories. I've been, again, helping people through a lot of this transformation for a while. And there's a lot of beautiful stories to tell, but I'm very proud of this place and the transformation that is taking place in Fayetteville, especially in Fayetteville. I know we had something beautiful going on before COVID. Hopefully we'll get it back. It's just a moment of transformation too. And, and I have high hopes for everybody to be more connected and happier overall, enjoying life in a happier way. That's what we're meant to be doing.
Thank you for joining me for this week's ARRAYdio podcast. I'd love to have you join me every week, so make sure and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, just a quick reminder that all the information shared here is the property of Array Publishing and Marketing, LLC. Always affordable, always positive, and always community-minded. See you next time.